Masha, you're making this funny noise. Hi, guys. Let me know that you can hear me okay, please. I have my phone propped up on like this mug thing, and I want to make sure it's not blocking the sound. Make sure that you like when you come in. So it says we can manifest more viewers. That's per TikTok. Okay, sound is good. Beautiful. Masha's with us today. She's making lots of funny noises. So excited to see you guys. All right, so we're going to talk about this today. You have to stop settling in life, guys. We have one life. And I know when we're younger, like in our 20s and 30s, we just feel like we have infinite time, that it's going to last forever. Like I know, because I used to be that age. And it's so funny because I remember when I was a kid, well, I was in foster care. I was in foster care from the age of 11 to 18. I did not have a great childhood. So I can remember, oh, thank you, love. I can remember back in that time period, like when I was young, that I wished and hoped and prayed to hurry up and turn 18 so I could move out, so I could be on my own, because I hated my life as a kid. I felt not loved. I didn't feel like I mattered. I felt insignificant. I really felt like an afterthought. And I had so much programming, that was programmed in me from those feelings, from the experiences that I had in a childhood. And I felt like time just moved so slow as a kid. And now that I'm an adult, and I've been an adult for a couple decades now, it's like I was just thinking yesterday, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe October's done. Like it flew by like this. Like it's crazy how fast time feels like it can go. So we have to understand a couple things, that we have to stop settling. See, I've been working on myself on and off with different things, and I made decisions growing up in foster care, having a father who was a raging alcoholic, not really in my life. My mom and I never got along. There was a lot of shaming I felt my mom did. I didn't really feel like I mattered to her. I know she loved me, but I didn't feel love from her. And she did the best with her own background because she came from a lot of trauma as well, but I don't have a close relationship with her today, and I've never been close to her. So I always felt like alone as a kid, right? Because I'm an only child, no siblings, anything like that. And I ran away all the time. I ran away from every single institution that I was put in foster home. And I had bad experiences in those places too. And so when I turned 18, I was like, freedom, fuck, I'm out of the system. Now they can't stop me. And I made a very conscious decision that I will never allow myself to be institutionalized ever in my life. This is why I don't do things that could potentially limit me, like put me in jail or do something where I would be institutionalized, because I was as a kid and I hated it. I hated not having options. I hated not having a voice. I hated feeling like I didn't matter, and I hated not having freedom. So as an adult, right, we go through all these things. And back then when I was growing up, we didn't have YouTube. There was no social media. So you accessed information in a different way. And so for me, I felt like it was more slow moving of me awakening, but it might have just been my own journey, my process. That's why the information didn't appear until it did, right? So we have to understand that. Like I even had a teacher, I was thinking about this yesterday. I had a 5th grade teacher. So here I am, this child that is obviously growing up with a lot of pain, and we don't know how to express very well because we're shut down and told different things, and there's a lot of fear running through us where we can't express safely how it is we feel or what's going on inside of us, and some of us don't even understand what all these emotions are as children. And I had a 5th grade teacher pull me to the side, and she told me, you're never going to amount to anything. And I'm not saying this for sympathy because I'm okay. I'm saying this because those experiences, those situations of the adults around me program me with belief systems that determined, or not determined, that's the wrong word, made me think and feel and believe that I am not good enough. So I made a conscious decision too, after I had that experience with the 5th grade teacher, that, bitch, I will prove you wrong. Like, I didn't say that to her, but I was thinking that in my head. And that was a driving factor. Like, her name is Miss Kisha. I don't even know if she's still alive today, but I will never forget that. I've never forgotten that. And that situation drove me to prove her wrong in a lot of ways in my life. So as kids, we have experiences and programming because of what is happening with our childhood. And we don't even have to have trauma childhoods, right? We can have just normal, loving parents that were amazing and great and no severe dysfunction. They can still impose limiting beliefs because of their own beliefs and viewpoints of the world and money and work and what you have to do to earn money, and if they can have this or they can't have that, and all their programming probably from their parents that they've accepted as true and never changed for themselves, and they manifest and create lives from those belief systems. That's what we do. So childhood is the major imprint. And then as an adult, we reinforce those beliefs through manifesting in experiences and versions of people that, match our belief system. And we also seek evidence in our reality constantly and attach meaning and assign meaning to all circumstances that favor our belief systems, even if they're not good belief systems. So we have to understand that just because we've been programmed with something from our childhood doesn't mean that it's permanent, thank God, because we have a malleable mind. And the way through reprogramming your mind is through repetition. That's how the brain responds, and that is how we train it. And we've done it since birth. So when we came out, none of us had limiting beliefs. None of us had limitations in our mind. They were programmed in our childhood because I'm a therapist too. I worked with neuroscientists, psychiatrists, as well as amazing therapists for well over 10 years. I treated post-traumatic stress disorder. I worked with vets coming back from war. I've worked with first responders. I've worked with people who rape victims, survivors, suicide. I mean, you name it, I fucking dealt with it as a therapist for over 10 years. So I have a lot of experience in how you actually scientifically, like how it's proven to reprogram your mind. And this is why I always say repetition. So when we're reprogramming our mind, we're commanding our subconscious mind with our conscious mind. We're telling it, no, this is what I am having. This is who I am. And we don't believe it in the beginning, but that's the power of repetition. You want to get down, love? She has a little bone down there, so she's more excited about the bone than she is about TikTok right now. So we reprogram our mind through repetition. You're telling it over and over, this is who I am. Your body hears everything. Your body follows the mind. Thoughts create feelings, feelings create behaviors, and then your behaviors reinforce your thoughts. So it's this feedback loop that you're doing. So your body follows your belief system. Your body doesn't move ahead of you first and then you develop a belief system. Your actions, your decisions, and your daily, habits and behaviors and choices you make in your life are all determined by what you dominantly believe. Now here's the catch. We're not even aware of like 90% of our beliefs because it is programmed in the subconscious mind. So if you have 70,000 thoughts that run through your mind every day and you are only consciously aware of maybe 5%, then you understand why a lot of us, even though we want something different in our life, we keep getting the same fucking result. We keep getting the same Groundhog's Day over and over again. I want more money, but yet we're still stuck in the same, money pattern in our life, right? I want love, but yet we're manifesting in the same versions of people with the same fucking outcomes, and we still feel not good enough every time we're in the new commitment or the new relationship or the new experience with the new person, right? We want to lose weight, but we're sitting here every day eating the same food, doing the same habits, thinking the same thoughts, repeating the cycle of shame if we ate too much, or, nothing changes, right? We keep being the same thing over and over again, and we don't move the needle in our life. This is so fucking common. This is how our brain will start to rationalize and justify why you don't have what you want. We start lying to ourselves to make us feel better, because all of us had some kind of talent and gift or we have something that, like, I know me, I was thinking about this usually in childhood, like they say around 7 to like 15. I don't really know how true that is, but I can remember. So I'm like, all right, I was in and out of foster care. I hated my childhood. So what were things that I loved to do? And I used to love playing with Barbies, and I always had my Barbies on stage. My Barbie was always on stage. So back then there was something in me that knew I will be speaking in front of others, right? And so here I am all grown up now in a profession where my voice does matter. There's people that are listening to my message, that need my message, that want my message, and I'm speaking on stage. So maybe not a literal stage, which that'll be happening soon, but right, just my stage is YouTube, my stage is TikTok, my stage is Instagram, my stage is social media all over the world. So we have to not allow these limiting beliefs that were programmed in us, mostly from childhood, to keep running the show. We can make a conscious decision to say, I no longer accept this story for myself. What do I want to know about myself instead? And then we reprogram the mind, and you reprogram the mind through repetition. Every day you have to rewire your mind. You do it through hypnosis. That's a powerful tool. It's not the whole answer, but it's a powerful tool. I do hypnosis as well, but you have to change your thinking. You have to be aware of your thinking. You have to understand, what am I saying to myself? If I want to feel love, if I want to feel secure in my relationships, well, if I'm always seeking security outside of me, it's because I don't feel it within me. If I don't feel lovable, then I'm always going to seek and need someone to show me that I am lovable, because I don't know this for myself. It's not a fact for me. It is not inherently, who I am when I wake up and I just know this is who I am. So we have to reprogram the mind until we know these things about ourselves. And you do it through many different tools and techniques to help you ground it in and feel it. So you do it consciously. And the way to interrupt subconsciously is through feelings, is through images, because that's how the subconscious mind works. The subconscious mind doesn't sit here when you're saying to yourself, I'm rejected, I'm broke, life sucks, nobody loves me, it's hard, like the shit we tell ourselves when we don't have the life we want, right? We sit here and we say all these things, or we say, oh, I don't get love because I'm overweight, or there's no good men out there, or there's no good women out there, or, I'm too old now to do this in my life, whatever the lies we've told ourselves to justify why we don't have what I want, right? Your subconscious mind isn't sitting there saying, no, girl, that's not true. Like, no, babe, don't think that way, right? No, it says, oh, okay, you can't get love because you're overweight. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to create and manifest for you. And by the way, help you assign every meaning you attach to in your reality and circumstances that come your way that says you're not worthy of love. You see how it works? Same thing with money. Those of you that are stuck with money, I'm shattering money beliefs all the time for me. Some were very small. Then I hit huge upper limits. And then I was like, oh my God, why am I staying stuck in this upper limit? Like, we need to shatter through this, right? It all comes down to beliefs of usually I'm not worthy to receive this, because if we know we're worthy to receive something, then we know that it's inevitable. We know that it's ours, right? So then we don't assign negative meanings to our 3D reality. And we say it, we have a different, very perspective and outlook of what we get to have. So we have to reprogram the mind through repetition. You do it through subconscious programming, because your subconscious mind accepts everything as fact. Everything you think, your subconscious mind is hearing. Why aren't you saying things like, I love how healthy I am. I love that my body is healed and working perfectly and properly, and I know it can, and it does always. Like, why aren't we saying that? If you're commanding your body, if your subconscious mind is listening to everything you say, and it does not dispute and understand what is truth or not, it just accepts everything as truth, whatever you're thinking and knowing and, saying out loud and writing and focusing on, why aren't you doing what you need to do to observe the mind and reprogram it? If it's thinking in pictures, why aren't you visualizing sometimes to help yourself out? Now, we don't have to visualize to manifest. I believe that 100%. but it does help you. It helps imprint a little bit quicker. Because if I say blue elephant, a lot of you either saw a blue elephant or you definitely saw an elephant. If I say red balloon, a lot of you just saw a red balloon or a balloon. If I say right now I'm walking by the beach and my feet are in the sand and the sun, is rising up and it's so beautiful to see the sunlight and I see the seagull flying over me, a lot of you just had a lot of imagery pulled up in your mind. So our brain does this naturally, whether you are controlling it or not. You when you think words, your brain will pull up pictures and images that you are correlating with those words. So it's important to understand how to master your mind on the conscious level, subconscious level, work it together to get what you want, to stop settling, to reprogram it with beliefs that say, no, I'm worthy of living an abundant life. Do you know what an abundant, and everybody has their own viewpoint of an abundant life. Drop in the comments and I'll read some of them of what an abundant life is for you. Because for me, it's having it all. It's having perfect fucking health. It's having love, everlasting, beautiful, uplifting love in all my relationships in my life. Thank you, my love, for that. It's about having massive wealth, phenomenal wealth. So I have all the freedom and options to, for me, I want to help the world. Like I'm already helping the world with what I do professionally, but I want to do things like there's programs I want to do that you need money to do, right? Like I want to pay electric bills for elderly people that fucking are on a fixed social security income that don't have the money. I'm going to set up a charity for that, right? I want to do things where I help foster kids, where I go in with my own system that me and my friend Maritza created, which I'm going to share with you a little bit more about this so you understand who her and I are together, working together, and what we've come up with of how we help people transform. And I want to implement it and teach it to these young foster kids, like teenage ones, so that maybe younger, so that way I can start imprinting favorable messaging to these children that felt like I did, alone, abandoned, and not cared about, and a fucking afterthought, so that we can set them up to experience a better life for themselves rather than having to wait until they're older, maybe for it to, come to them. I don't know. There's so many things we can do with money. If you love animals, you can go do things where you're helping animals, right? Like collecting all the ones that are loose and not being taken care of, and you can treat them medically and feed them and give them love and support. I mean, you guys, we can go build schools in medical care for other countries, like third world countries that are so impoverished and the people are really starving and don't have the resources like we do in my country in America, right? I mean, there's so many things that we can do with money, right? Like money is not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing. We have so many options to give and heal people with, because I used to have a belief system. This is what was programmed in me like years ago, and I didn't even realize it till really recently. I heard messaging all the time, and this is so stupid, where people would say, I heard it on TV a lot. I don't recall it. See, your TV will reprogram your mind too, what you're listening to. I don't know, and I can't recall anyone in my immediate life, like my parents didn't say this, or anyone I was involved with, married to, dating, whatever. Like it was on TV. I kept hearing this message and online that people were saying you should only volunteer. Like if you volunteer your time rather than money, it's more valuable. Well, I don't think that's true. And who the fuck is that person to decide what we want to do? Because if I can have more money than time, which we usually do, right? Well, that's the reality I manifest. I can help more people. I can use my time best to make the money, and then I can spread the money, oh my God, all over the globe, that can impact people more than maybe my time of showing up to one experience and, I don't know, doing something, right? My money, my business I'm creating can teach other coaches how to rapidly transform people and create massive fucking healing all over the world. So to me, I think that resource is a bit better in the sense of how I can get it done. Now, that could be a limiting belief too, right? But we get to decide what our beliefs are. The point of this is, right? So Money is a beautiful thing. So there's nothing wrong with wanting more. There's nothing wrong with exchanging a product or a service that you believe provides tremendous value, and people are happily investing because they're getting such an amazing experience out of it, right? We're not hurting people. I'm not here to hurt people. I'm here to fucking help people. I'm here to help people learn we don't have to suffer, because I grew up suffering. I grew up not knowing my worth and value. I grew up where I really believed and thought certain things about me that hurt me, that I would never speak in existence to my child. I never talked to my son the way that I talk to myself. I never, any small child or other adult I'm around, I would never say those things to them of what I would say to myself every fucking day. Every day I believe these things about me, that I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm unlovable, I can't have this, I deserve this, this is painful, love is hard, whatever. I mean, my God, there's so many beliefs that get programmed in us all the time. So we do it through repetition. We decide, fuck that, I want a new story. And then we understand that you are your solution. I'm not your solution. I'm imparting knowledge and wisdom and teaching you how to empower yourself to you being your solution. Once you understand that and you invest in you and learn how to be your own solution, then you decide, I get to have better. I get to know new beliefs about me. I get to know that I'm actually worthy. I get to know that I'm worthy of wealth. I get to know that I'm worthy of perfect health. I get to know that I'm worthy of fucking everlasting, endless, beautiful, uplifting relationships and love in my life, in all areas of our life, through friendships, through our clients, our customers, through our family, through our lovers, our people that we marry, whatever, our children, oh my gosh, we get to have it all. We do not have to settle. We can have it all, and we can have it all at the same time, and have it all at the same time for the rest of your fucking life, okay? So we don't have to pick and choose what area we get to excel in. We don't have to pick and choose that, well, right now, the next 10 years, my career is gonna thrive, and maybe my love life will take a back seat, or I'm gonna just focus on my love life and, my job or career or business or whatever, and I'm just gonna let my weight go to shit and my health go to shit. No. We can have it all, and it doesn't have to be hard, and it can start changing now. Change does not have to take long. Change is happening instantly. We'll feel shifts over and over again as it gets more repeated and programmed in you, and it can happen quicker rather than longer. And we have to get out of the mindset that things have to take fucking years. Some things may evolve in years. That's okay. We're not here to say, no, I need it now, it has to be now, because then we're desperate and we're not being the version of us. But when you're working on you, when you're working on your belief system, when you're understanding that all I'm doing is convincing myself, I'm deciding I want to be someone who's abundant. That's what abundance is, right? What did you guys say your view of abundance is? Did anybody say that? No, nobody answered my question. So, right, abundance is whatever you decide it is for you, but this is what we're doing. We're saying I get to have it all. So what is all for me? I want to have it in all areas of my life. I want to be the best version of me, feeling blessed. Abundance is peace and freedom. I love it. So would you get peace and freedom? What does that look like to you? Because that's different to all of us. See, peace to me is having inner peace in me, because then I get inner peace outside of me. And then freedom to me is having options, creating a life where I get to decide what it looks like every day. Do you know when I left a 9 to 5 when I was a therapist, and I worked, oh my gosh, 6 days a week, and I was so burnt out and exhausted and just not taking the best care of myself. I had shingles twice in my 30s. The doctors were like, what the fuck, this is rare, because I had so much inner turmoil in me. Now, part of that is I didn't have a good self-concept when it came to love, so I was involved and had relationships that brought me a lot of emotional pain because of that story. But also it was the life I was living, right? I was helping people, which is what I love to do, but it was in an environment that was hostile, that was not supportive of us taking care of ourselves ever. And so I had it backwards, and I had no freedom. So then I decided, well, what does freedom look like to me? And I got very specific. Well, I want freedom where when I wake up every day, I'm not rushed to get my self-care in the morning. Like I would have to get up super early to go work out, rush my workout. Then I couldn't like decompress and work on me. I mean, I could maybe a couple minutes, but there was always a time limit unless I kept getting up earlier. And by the way, I wake up at 4 a.m. I'm not planning on getting up earlier than that unless I naturally wake up. But like, I didn't want to have a life where I had to wake up at 2 or 3 to get everything done so I could be to work at 7:30, right? And so it was understanding that like, I decided I want to help people, but in a way that feels good for me too, in a way where I can go to the gym as long as I want in the morning, that I don't have to have a time limit on it. Because sometimes I'd have to rush out of there in 40 minutes. You know, if I want to stay an hour, then I can. It's up to me what I was feeling and experiencing. I wanted a morning where I could get up and drink my coffee and script and just focus on my mindset and do all the things that I wanted to do and had enough space and time before my day started when it came to work. And I wanted to create a schedule at that time because I was so burnt out. We only worked 2 days a week and everything was covered. And that's what I did. I manifested that. And then once I got over that, I said, okay, now what does freedom look like for me? Oh, well, I want to keep helping people. Hold on, Masha wants me. Come here. Come here. So it looked different, right? Because we get to change our mind. We get to create an experience for ourselves. And then we get to decide, no, you know what? I'm ready for what's the next step, right? What's the next moment in my life, the next chapter that I want? So then I decided I'm ready to go online. I'm ready to help the world rather than just my local community. And that manifested me becoming a coach from a therapist. I mean, I'm still a therapist, but I don't practice it anymore. And it was really eye-opening for me because I never even wanted to be a coach. I looked down on coaches, not to be, sit here like I'm high and mighty because I'm a coach, but I was programmed as a therapist to think less than of coaches. Like, do you see the limiting beliefs stop me from even looking at something as a possibility? So I manifested that happening. I manifested meeting my friend Maritza, who's now my business partner that I've known for several years. And I got certified. She's a therapist too. And I got certified through coaching with her, and also got a really good friend out of this relationship with this woman in my life. And so all these things opened up for me. And then I created a business that's easy for me in the sense of I love what I talk about, right? I used to do trauma and PTSD and a drug addiction, painful stuff. And while it was sacred and I enjoyed it and I really got a lot of fulfillment and it being rewarded of doing that work, it was heavy. We dealt with death. We dealt with pain. We dealt with heavy trauma. And after 10 years of that, I'm like, I want to help people in such a transformative way, but where I'm not meeting them at life and death, right? Because I did that. There's many of other beautiful souls and light workers out there doing that work. They can keep doing that work. My time with it was finished. And so it morphed into all of this, okay? So the point of that is our freedom. What is your freedom? What does that look like? I like to have a lot of money so I can have options. I don't like limitations. A part of that I think is ingrained in me from being in childhood, foster care, and feeling like I was so limited and I had no freedom and I couldn't decide what I wanted for myself, right? So with a lot of abundance in my life with money, I feel like that I have a lot of choices, that I'm not limited in what I can do. And I've been, when I was younger, I didn't make a lot of money and I was very limited. I have to pay my heat or food? I don't want to live like that. And I said, fuck that. I want it all. I want all the bills paid and I want to have excess and overflow, right? So it doesn't matter. Someone's asking, what if I struggle with finding these things because I've never had it before? Well, it doesn't matter. We're all manifesting in things we haven't had before. Why do you want it? What do you believe would be different about you? And what do you believe would be different about your life, the experience, because of this new whatever you're manifested in? That's all you need to tap into. That is it. We don't need to know anything. We just need to say, what's a possibility for me? What do I think of freedom? What do I think of love? What does abundance mean to me? If I had a magic fucking wand and I could literally create the life of my dreams, if no one was telling me no, if there were no limits that could stop me from having everything I wanted, go big, guys. What would that be? What would that be? Get excited about it. So repetition is how you reprogram your mind. And then you have to understand the long game of this. And when I say long game, it doesn't mean, oh, my 20-year vision, right? No, it means, why am I doing this? I'm thinking the new thoughts until I believe them. Do we need to believe before we manifest? No, but if you want it to fucking stick, yes. Okay? You need to make the way you see yourself, you need to make the way you see your life and what you get to have familiar to you. Because one of the things we know is when something is unfamiliar to us, even if it's desirable and favorable, we can self-sabotage it. You guys do this with love all the time. I did it with love. Before I knew my self-concept, when I manifested in versions of men that were everything I wanted and would give me everything, I fucking ran. I couldn't accept it because it wasn't familiar to me. See, my story of love was pain, right? When I got stuck in an upper limit of making a certain amount of money, which was a lot, like for me, when I kept making that same amount, I was like, whoa, why am I stuck here? Because I always know it's me. I don't believe it's a strategy. I don't believe that it's about, I don't know, I don't have the right clients. I don't believe it's anything ever outside of me. It's always me. I always take responsibility for me when something shows up in my life or I'm experiencing something, a pattern that is not what I desire. So then I always know, okay, so something in me needs to change. And then I go on an exploration. This is what's fun to me. I look at it as an exploration. I was like, what do I get to explore in my mind now? What do I get to reprogram in me? What is the new possibility? What is the new breakthrough mentally and emotionally I'm going to experience, right? Who am I on the other side of this? Because we have all the answers. We just have beliefs and perspectives and viewpoints that make us feel like we don't know the answers. And I started uncovering beliefs that had been programmed in me for a long time that I didn't know. One of them, this is how crazy this is. One of them, I believed I was not smart enough to be up past a certain point, that I didn't know how to do it. And that took me a minute to figure it out. But once it popped up in me, I was like, oh my God, this makes sense. So I started changing that story. And I said, no, what if I am smart enough? What if my mind is so fucking brilliant and genius at monetizing the gifts that I give to the world? Like, I don't need to worry about anything. I already know what to do. I have all the answers. The answers always come to me, whether it's in a form of a new experience, opportunity, person, or me. But I already know everything. And guess what? I keep manifesting in new ideas, things that feel so good for me that I never thought of before, manifesting in better experiences, different people, opportunities, and then I get to pick and choose what I want to do with them. So this is what the work is. This is how you really create your dream life. You also look at your daily habits. So when I started understanding this about myself, I'm like, okay, so if I were this way, what would I be doing different? And I didn't know what that answer was. And this is what a lot of you don't understand is you can talk to your subconscious mind. You're commanding it all the time. So say to it like, hey, subconscious mind, tell me, show me, give me the information I need to be this. Tell it that. Insert whatever you want. Show me the way. Show me the right decisions that I'm making all day. Show me the behaviors and ways I need to think. Light up the pathway for me. Show me the circumstances. Show me the opportunities. Show me the way I need to think, the way I need to be in order to cultivate this abundant life of mine. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to receive it. I'm ready to be it. I'm ready to experience. Lead me, show me, show me. If you say this every day, at some point, either that same day, I usually get the messaging pretty quickly when I ask myself questions. Usually, if not that same day, I usually get it within 3 days. And sometimes I don't even realize that I got the answer until a week later. And I'm like, oh my God, Kim, do you realize 6 days ago, you just had this amazing epiphany or you just had this idea. And then I was sitting down creating something different or doing something different that feels so electrified in me. That's how I know it's aligned for me. So the point of all of this is it's really understanding that you don't have to live in Groundhog's Day. You don't have to keep settling. You don't have to agree to beliefs and narratives that were programmed in you from childhood that are stopping you, that are keeping you stuck, that are making you, shortchange yourself in life, that are justifying, right? These beliefs that come up with lies that justify why we can't have what they want. And understand the clock is ticking, guys. It's ticking in the sense of we only have one life in the physical flesh, right? So we have to understand that. Like, I go to sometimes when I'm feeling like demotivated, I always put this image in my mind, and I don't manifest it because it brings up very positive emotions for me, and it gets I've associated with a powerful messaging for my subconscious mind that says, you know what to do, girl, to get moving to your dream life, right? So I always think, like, when it's my time to go and I've lived my 90s plus years and I'm on my deathbed, am I going to be excited about the life that I lived? Am I going to be ready to go because I did everything I wanted to do? So this is just the things we want to think about. Like, are you excited about your life every day? If you were sitting here writing a book about your life, do you think it's a best-selling book? Are you fucking like, wow, look at everything I've manifested. Look at this life of abundance I made for myself, right? If the answer is no, then let's get crack-a-lackin'. Let's get fucking moving, right? Let's start creating the life of our fucking dreams. Let's get everything we want, because you can have it all. And you can have it all at the same time. And you can have it all at the same time for the rest of your fucking life. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that. Somebody's fucking vacuuming in the office next to me, and it goes literally so loud right through the doors. The walls. We're gonna manifest that they turn it off right now. Manifest with me so we make this shit happen faster. I'm just gonna write some comments, or if you have questions on this topic of what I'm talking about, I'll read them, and hopefully this will be quiet next door. Can't take that long to fucking vacuum up something. So ask me some questions about manifesting abundance and abundant life. Thank you for your inspiration. You're welcome. Love how you explain with clarity. Thank you, my love. I think that's one of my gifts. See, this is the thing. We all have gifts. Some of us aren't aware of it. I wasn't aware of how naturally and easily I explain things. Do you know when it came to me is when I started working online and I moved from therapy to coaching, everybody would tell me, oh my gosh, you explain this so easily. I think I have this gift because I did it as a therapist too. And I understand how the mind works a lot. I understand how you actually reprogram it. So I always think of things I like things simple. So for me, it's like, oh, when it's simple and it's not ambiguous, it makes sense. And then I educate others the way I understand it. I love your personality. Thank you. I struggle with consciously manifesting multiple things at once. Well, stop saying that story. What if you didn't? What if it was easy to manifest everything? Why can't you have an abundant life? Why do you have limitations that say you can only have a couple things at a time, that you can't have it all? This is the work, guys. And just because something has been a certain way doesn't mean it has to keep being that certain way. That's what you have to keep reminding yourself. Thank you for everything you do, Kim. You're a queen. Thank you, my love. How do you start the morning with good manifesting? I mean, I create a routine because to me, the most important thing is my mind, my health, mentally and physically. So my day, I start with getting my inner world right, and I journal, script, and I affirm, and I do all the things, and I dedicate time every morning to that. And then I work out. I like to work out. It helps me mentally. I also, when I'm doing that, I listen to like my hypnosis that I make for myself, just because I'm in such a meditative state anyways, because when I work out, it's very meditative for me. That is just, sinking into my mind. And then I take time throughout my day to stop and I reflect and I affirm, and I'm very aware of what's going on in my mind. I'm commanding my mind every day of what I want it to notice, what I want it to do in my body, what I want healed, what I want my life to look like, that I'm worthy. I reinforce the story that I'm worthy of whatever it is I want, because most people don't believe they're worthy of wealth. Most people don't believe they're worthy of love. Most people don't believe they're worthy of having it all. Most people don't believe they're worthy of having, perfect health and an amazing, fit, strong body that it takes care of itself. Do I have to repeat on a daily? Yes, you're reprogramming your mind. You're thinking daily. So why aren't you commanding your mind daily? This is the thing. You have to understand how your brain works. You have 70,000 thoughts every day that are running the show. You best believe you have to pay attention and command your mind where you want it to go. It's why you're one of the only coaches I stuck with. Oh, thank you, my love. I struggle with obsessive. Oh, it just jumped. I struggle with obsessive thoughts on SP3 and money. You don't know you can have it all, and you have low self-concept, which is why you struggle and you're outer focused. You're not inner focused. You're trying to make something happen and you're not feeling good enough, which is why you're obsessing about the third party. You're probably feeling broke and anxious about money. You got to get your inner world to experience something different, and your outer will reflect. You also have confidence. I love it, and I want to be that way too. Beautiful. See yourself that way. Who's the confident version of you? What are the thoughts she thinks? How does she show up? What are you doing different in your life that represents confidence to you? Will it work even if you don't feel the affirmations at all? Like you just repeat but not feel. Why don't you want to feel? So if your thoughts create your feelings, eventually your feelings will catch up. But you can do things through hypnosis. You can do things through visualization where you can actually feel. So do both. You want to feel it. You want to learn how to give yourself emotional reprieve, because if you don't, eventually most of you give up because you still feel fucking awful and you don't know you're the solution to make yourself not feel awful, and you're still needing it and believing that it comes from outside of you. Best way to let go of attachment, an old story, and allow yourself to fully believe the new one. You have to work on self-concept. If you don't know you're worthy to have something, then you live in constant fear of not having it and that you'll never have it. And if you don't know you're worthy of something, you don't know it's inevitable for you, so you don't know it's done. That's what knowing it's done means, is I know I got this in the bag because of who the fuck I am. So I'm giving you guys the answers. All my videos, I give you guys the answers. It's up to you to fucking do it every day. I think my products and services are great, just getting sporadic sales and not daily consistent. Well, stop noticing that. Start trusting and knowing that at some point it's going to show up that way. What do you want? Aren't you worthy of that? Don't people love to buy from you? People love the transformation and experience they get from your products and services. They love investing in themselves. I don't know what you do, but I mean, create the story that feels good. Like, my shit is worthy of this. Like, what also... You know, a lot of you, you want to correlate your money, associate the money you receive with, you don't have to do this, but this can help people a lot, is how is that money going to benefit you and others in your life and the world? Some of you want to do the world, some of you don't want to, and that's fine. No judgment. We do what we want. I'm not here to judge people on what they want to create for themselves. But even in your own life, if you just want to benefit you and maybe your child or your future child that you're going to have, or other people in your family, like really look at, if I had all this money that I wanted, what would I really be doing with it? Obviously, we're going to get ourselves the life we want, but then how are we giving it away? Because most of us will give some away. We will want to help others. So really tap into that too, because that's going to put you in such a beautiful state that it's going to be easy for you to dwell there and easy for you to receive. Thoughts on just allowing and skipping all the techniques? You can't. See, this is the thing. Everybody's looking for the shortcut, and there is a shortcut, and the shortcut is reprogram you. That's the shortcut. That's how the answer to everything. But I don't know why a lot of you want to get into the state of allowance means to change your thinking and change you. So you do the techniques that transform you the quickest, the ones that work the fastest. So that way you are kind of shortcutting it in a way, but you're not, because you have to shift you. That's what the whole game's about. That's what allowing is. When I know I'm worthy to receive it, I know it's on its way. Like you're in the wish fulfilled. That's what the wish fulfilled is. If I already had what I wanted, then I wouldn't be seeking it. I wouldn't not know it about me. I wouldn't need it to fulfill me in some way, because I'm already it. And until you become already it, you really won't allow it. This is why even those of you that have low self-concept in whatever area of your life, If you decide in your mind, fuck it, I don't want it anymore, I don't care, and you literally believe that and think that, and then it manifests in, but then you don't keep it. So this is why it isn't enough to drop the old story, because when it comes in, you won't sustain what you want because of who you still are. If you're still the same you, that when you have what you wanted and it doesn't feel normal for you because you haven't trained your mind to have the right brain chemistry that is created through your thinking to know a different story of love, to know a different story of your worth and value, to know a different story of money and abundance and the experiences you're having, then it feels unfamiliar. It's not natural, and the brain doesn't like what is not natural to it. That's why you reprogram it through repetition. And you're going to love it. You're going to love that you can empower yourself and you can give yourself any fucking feeling you want. And you're going to love the fucking feeling of believing and knowing in your fucking worth, because it lights you the fuck up. It is so empowering, and it's what makes you unstoppable. Love this. Thank you. Can you debunk you have to believe it to see it when you do believe it? What? Can you debunk you have to believe it? No, I don't need to debunk it. You need to work on that yourself. I already know that's true. I've already manifested in many, many things that I didn't see first. I mean, I see it in my mind. You see it in your mind first. Everything is like that. You have a thought and it manifests in. It doesn't manifest first. And then you're like, oh, you allow manifestations to decide for you. You allow a manifestation or a circumstance outside of you to tell you who you are and your worth and value, but you still manifested it internally first. It was created internally, and then it was projected out, and then you received it. But does the feeling matter? The feeling isn't what manifests. But you want to learn, thoughts create feelings. So you want to be in alignment. This is why in the beginning, when you start thinking new thoughts, but you feel unworthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, I'm worthy, but you don't feel it, it's because you don't believe it yet, because it's not normal for you. You haven't created enough neurons firing in your mind to create new brain chemistry and physiological chemistry in your body, where in your cells, this is normal for you. You're creating new emotions. You're creating new feelings with new thinking. So you have to keep doing that, and you want to feel different. Would you want to be in love and still feel not good enough? No. Do you want to be in love in a relationship and feel insecure, not good enough, and scared all the time that this is going to go away? I don't think anybody does. That's the false belief you have is, if I get this relationship, then I won't feel any of those things. But you will, because you guys already have. I used to do that too. That's why you didn't keep it. So don't you want to be a version of you that already knows their worth and value, already has security with them, is already confident, knows what they want is inevitable, knows they're deserving and worthy of a beautiful, harmonious, peaceful, easy fucking relationship and love of their life? So then when it comes in, it's normal for you. This is how you feel with it, without it. You're not going to reject it, right? And same thing with money. A lot of you think like, oh, I just need the money and then I'll feel successful, or then I'll feel, secure because I can pay all my bills this month. No, you won't, because when it comes in, it's going to trigger you, because your story that is still embedded emotionally, mentally, energetically, biochemically, whatever you want to say, all of the above, is still your true story, because you haven't shifted it. You don't know a different story is fact. So this is what we're doing. We're creating a new story of us that changes. Do you understand? Thoughts create chemicals in your mind and body. So you want the new thoughts to align with the new feelings. So when we first start affirming, that's why we feel the resistance, because we don't believe it yet. Our old wiring, the old chemistry that's in our body and in our brain is negative emotions. It's chemistry that creates and produces negative feelings. That's why we're thinking, I'm worthy, I'm this, I'm that, I'm lovable, but we don't fucking believe it, and we feel unlovable. We feel literally the opposite of what we're used to feeling. That's why you repeat it over and over, and you produce a new chemical reaction in you over and over, where you're training your mind and body that, hey, no, this is who we are now. Oh no, I am fucking lovable. This is what it feels like to be lovable. This is who I am as a lovable person. These are the thoughts that I think as a lovable person. This is the beliefs and perspectives and viewpoints I have as someone who is lovable. This is the new chemistry in our brain and in our body that we produce and release as someone who knows they are lovable. And here's the actions we do as someone who is lovable. That lovable person doesn't go chase love. That lovable person doesn't fucking settle. Same thing with money. So this is what we're doing. That's why you do it. So I think the feeling matters for that reason and that reason alone. It's not so you manifest it. It's so you become it. Because when you become it, it is yours and it's inevitable and it's fucking permanent. So one of the things that I am excited to announce is I'm going to put this up on YouTube too. So if you're not on my YouTube channel, definitely go on my YouTube channel because my links to this are all on there. But my friend Maritza and I, who is a therapist / coach, she's been doing this forever. Love her. She's a powerhouse bitch. She has it all. She's amazing. We work super good together. We have our new program we launched called Striking Brilliance. And basically we're here. She curated all the things she's done as a coach with NLP and just the amazing techniques that she's seen help her own clients for the last 15 years transform the quickest. And I've curated mine and doing the same thing of what I've seen not only help myself shift fucking faster, but it's helped my clients, because whatever I do new for myself, I teach my clients. And then if they get the repeat experience I did, then I know it's a fucking game changer. So then that's what I teach. So I've curated that too. And then we've combined it to create a process to really help people transform quicker rather than longer. And we're doing this in our Striking Brilliance program, which is about you shattering any and all limiting beliefs that are keeping you from having an abundant life. So you come in there, we meet once a month, we do the transformation work on the monthly call, and every week we send you prep work via email to get you prepared, to get you educated, and some exercises and things you start doing every week before the call. So on the call, we're there to do the rapid transformational techniques that we've curated to help you guys transcend your shit the quickest. So I'm really excited for this. We just launched it. We're already having amazing people sign up. Our first call is November 15th at 4:30 p.m. I really encourage you to check it out, read about it. If you have questions about it, definitely email me. I was trying to see if I could post the link in here, but I don't see where it lets me text. I can't text you guys back, can I? Oh, yes, I can. But I can only reply to people. Yeah, you can manifest good vision. Tell your body to have good vision. Tell your body to heal your eyes and they see things perfectly. No, I didn't want to pin that. Sorry. All right. I don't know how to do it. I'll figure that out. But if you go to my YouTube, it's all over. It's called Striking Brilliance. And you can click on the link and read about it. I really encourage you to sign up. It's going to be amazing, guys. She and I are going to be doing live in-person events starting this year. We're going to be doing VIP days where we just have transformational break fucking through. Well, come over, Nick, if you want to become a mindset coach. You don't have to get certified. There's certification programs out there. There's so many different techniques you can learn. You can learn from me and Maritza. I think we have the best, honestly, not biased or anything. But it's really more about, we live it, we breathe it. We've actually worked with people that have had major severe issues all across the board as therapists. We work with neuroscientists. We understand how to really reprogram the mind. We've actually done it ourselves. And then I've already helped thousands of you. Thousands of people have paid to work with me, and 99% of them have amazing, incredible shifts. And our goal is that we don't want you with us forever. We want to set you up, teach you. This is why I give away everything for free online. I give you all the answers, all the solutions of what to do. If you're going to work with me, then you're paying for my time and you're paying for my expertise of being able to cut through the blind spots, really give you that individualized, personalized attention, which, is what I do, right? So I give everything away for free. You already know. I teach you what to do. If you're struggling with what to do, if you want someone to be there to, circumvent through the blind spots, to really hold you accountable, to call out the BS, to really guide you and lead you and remind you and motivate you and believe in you, so that until you believe in yourself fully, then I really encourage you to, work with a coach, work with some of us. But that's really what a coach is. The coach is, how do I get this person the results they want? And I've already done it. I've done it since I was a therapist. I help people in drug addiction literally died multiple times. They through their mindset work and changing their self-concept. Back then I didn't call it self-concept because I wasn't even aware of self-concept back then, of doing what I told them to do, and they followed. Now they did the work. I'm not taking credit for their success on their own life, but they listened with what I taught them, and I held their hand throughout the process until they got it enough where they believed and trusted in themselves. And they're living amazing fucking lives, sober as fuck, having families, graduating law school, becoming top lawyers, accountants. I mean, just amazing there for their children when they weren't. They were shooting up heroin and fucking drugs for 10 years, you know. I did it with people with PTSD that were frozen and stuck from trauma and were wanting to kill themselves, and their lives were just going down the tubes. Like, this stuff that I'm teaching fucking works. And like, I don't work with clients like that anymore, right? I don't work with people in active addiction. I don't work with clients that have severe PTSD because I don't do therapy anymore. I don't work with that. So if they can get the fucking results, you can get the fucking results with what I teach you. And the really cool thing is that, again, I've cultivated it from those 10 years. I took the best things of cognitive behavior therapy techniques, cognitive processing therapy techniques. I picked out what the fuck worked, created something back then that did help those people. Then when I got aware of self-concept and law of assumption and experimented that on myself, and then have helped thousands of you with that combined, whoo, it's amazing. And then you throw in my girl Maritza, who's a master in fucking NLP. She's also a therapist who owned multiple treatment centers and worked in addiction for a long time too, and she's no longer in that as well. And she has her own process. And then like I said, that has transformed thousands of people too. And then we combine them. We took the best of both and said, let's create something fucking magical. And we practice it and it fucking works. So we're so excited to be able to share this because we want to go into a new reality where transformation is faster rather than longer, right? It doesn't have to take years. It doesn't need it. NLP is neuro linguistic programming. It doesn't have to be super fucking painful. We can go in and rapidly transform. I've done it to myself. And like I said, I've done it with thousands of others. So I love you guys. I really encourage you to check out the group. We're starting on November 15th at 4:30. Oh, this is how I comment. Ah, yay, here's the link. Oh, now it's not going to let me paste it. Of course. All right, click on my bio thing, whatever the link in there. Go to my YouTube channel. It's posted in there. It's called Striking Brilliance. This is to up-level your life. Doesn't matter what you're coming in for. We're going to do the work with you every month to have the transformational experience, do the techniques with you, and then prep you every week before that call via email to really start seeing fast and quicker results. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to repost this on YouTube as well, but definitely check me out over there and email me if you have questions. Bye.